With the presidential election behind us, Georgia voters now hold the key to partisan control of the Senate. With candidates taking definite stances on the issues, what should our position be as Christians? Well, we're here to talk about it. It's Pivotal Times with your host, Pivotal Sales. On January 5th, our nation faces one of its most difficult, most challenging, most important Senate runoffs. Let's look at Warnock and Loeffler, two candidates who let us in on the debate. Now, on one hand, we have Raphael Warnock, who's a pastor. He's the minister of Ebenezer Baptist Church. When asked about his views on abortion, he let everybody know that his views on reproductive justice and freedom were in line with his ministerial views, and never went into the book to say, you know what, God hates murder. You know what, even though my position as a party has fallen below the biblical standards, I have to uphold the biblical integrity of the Bible. Never did that. That would have helped you and your congregation. On the other hand, we have Kelly Loeffler. She is the co-owner of WNBA's Atlanta Dream since 2011. She publicly denounced Black Lives Matter. Well, the challenge with that is she is the owner, or at least the co-owner, of an organization that's 80% African American. Had she sat with her players prior to George Floyd and the protest, she would have known that this was a challenge for a big part of the majority part of her segment. And she could have taken a position that set a tone for advocacy. Well, the first thing that they heard from her was that she's against that stance. Well, if the church took a stance and took leadership like we did in the 1960s, we could have a foundation that is godly as we approach these social justice issues. Now, in a system that was really for the people, we could actually have a Democratic presidency and a Senate that was Republican. The two could counterbalance each other out. But as we know, whenever that happens, we hit a stalemate where no one's policies go through. That lets us know that these parties are really about the furthering of their own power, their own agenda, not really the progress of the nation. This is what President George Washington tried to warn us about, that two-party system. Finally, yes, people bled and died for the right to vote. Go to the polls. But after standing in line, if you find that you don't have a viable option, abstaining is also a political stance. And if you're going to choose a candidate, for Christ's sake, do not toe the political line. Take the time to find out what the issues are from a biblical perspective. This is Pivotal Sales signing off with Caps. Until we meet again, drop a line below and subscribe. Remember, bow before God, stand before men, and be well.